Hey, it's Bay, founder of Event Bay and your go-to girl for all things weddings and events. Welcome back to another episode of Q&A with Bay, where I answer your top wedding coordination and logistics questions. Let's dive in. Today's question is, how do you create a wedding day timeline that actually works? So this is actually one of the most essential parts of the wedding planning process, is creating a detailed and realistic wedding day timeline, or the master timeline like I like to call it. It's like the roadmap for your big day. So getting all the key points right is really, really important to making sure that everything runs smoothly and stress-free. So the questions are, where do you start? Step one, I like to gather all the details and the events of the day from my couple. I like to ask them a list of every event that they want to make sure absolutely happens on the day. So from in the morning, hair and makeup, to the final send-off and all the details in between. I like to add every single piece because no detail is too small and each activity needs to have its own time slot. Step two, I assign realistic time blocks to each activity. So this is where my experience really comes in. For example, hair and makeup for the bridal party can take anywhere from 1 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the group, the number of stylists, and the complexity of the styles. So things typically take longer than couples expect. So I always like to build in extra buffer time between key events, just because things rarely run exactly on schedule and you don't want anyone to feel rushed during the day. Step three, I like to coordinate with all of the vendors that my couple has. So each vendor will have their own setup and breakdown time. So I check in with them to understand their timeline and their needs to make sure that nothing gets missed. Step four is creating the timeline with clarity and sharing it to everybody. So I create a super clear and easy to follow timeline document that keeps a list of all the activities, the exact start and end times, the location, and who's responsible for each item. And then this timeline goes out to the couple. And I also have personalized timelines for the wedding party and the vendor, so they don't get all the extra details, but they get all the stuff that they just need to know. Step five is preparing for flexibility, because even the best wedding timelines need to be somewhat adaptable. So things like traffic, weather, or unexpected delays can happen, and that's why buffer times are really essential. And I always remind my couples to just stay flexible, trust the process, and to really just trust me. I don't want them to stress about anything because that's my job. Step six is to really just use the timeline on the day of. Like, the timeline is my best friend. For the most part, I try to memorize majority of it, and I just check it constantly. I walk around with my industrial size iPad, and I communicate with all of the vendors, and I give gentle nudges to family and friends when I need to just guide everyone so that we stay on track. So to sum it up, a detailed wedding day timeline is all about preparation, communication, and flexibility. And when it's done right, it really just keeps everybody calm, happy, and ensures the day flows really beautifully. And so I'm also giving away free, that's right, free wedding planning templates to help you get started on a stress-free celebration. So just click the link in the description and you'll have instant access. If you have more questions about this or the wedding process in general, just drop them in the comments. I'd love to answer them in the next episode of Q&A with Bay. Don't forget to follow @the Event Bay for more tips, tools, and wedding day wisdom. See you next time.